What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards. And you know, they say a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, but that becomes a problem when he finds it by crawling up under your covers in the middle of the night. Ouch! Anyway, I'm joined as always by these two nuts, Joe Day and EP Eric Mahalik. How you doing, boys?
Oof, that was something. That was a journey.
Yeah. Just something to think about. Yeah. Nobody ever talks about where they're finding the nut.
And what kind of nuts they're finding.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Is this a personal experience, Mike? Are you trying to tell us something? Like, you
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Got a John Kruk situation or something. I don't know what's going on there. If you know, you know.
You know. How's it going, boy?
Guys, I'm still sore.
Oh,
I'm still sore.
Oh my, here we go.
Oh my God. My shoulders, my back, my elbows. 20 boxes of Game of Thrones. Oh, holy crap. That's
so terrible. How are you surviving right now? You had to open 20 boxes of a product?
20
boxes over the course of 3 straight hours, which, oh my, that was, and I was like, I had to rewatch it to make sure everyone got what they needed. I was watching it on 2 speed, so that was another 90 minutes of my life, but I'm like, I'm actually going at a decent clip. Like, I'm not like, waiting on any of the cards. Like, I'm not showing base cards after the first box, right? Mm-hmm. And it still took 3 hours. And then I had to sort, pack, and ship everything. And my, oh my, I could not be a one-man breaking operation full time. That is for sure. Thanks for everyone who participated. Most of the packages went out Saturday, so a couple of days ago. Some of them will go out today, Monday. So, and some will be delivered in person. So it is what it is. Big shout out to EP already claimed this spot for the next 6 months. So I have to just hold up this sign. Big shout out to Junior's Cards and Toys. Henry over at Junior's hooked me up with with those cases at a very, very cheap price so that we could do that break cheap for everyone. And a couple of people have actually reached out to me and said, oh, hey, I'm interested in this card or that card that's on their eBay page. Can I get a better off eBay deal? I'm like, I'm sure you can. Here's Henry's information. So he's still chugging along. Definitely check that eBay store out over Christmas. His goal of 1,600 auctions happening on Christmas Day of all day. It's insane. Oh. It's insane. So, but it was a lot of fun. I think the next Rittenhouse product that hopefully is not 20 cases that I might do a break for is Frazier. Could be interesting. Could be fun. I was more of a Cheers guy, Frazier. And then there's a Hunger Games set coming out. And then Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon. Am I saying that right, EP?
Yep.
There's all correct words together.
Yep.
Okay.
Correct.
So if anyone's interested in those, it's going to be a next year thing. Let me know. But I think we'll probably do another one. Why not? I mean, it's fun.
Are you sure you're up to it?
Hopefully by then. Hopefully
you're recovered. Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna have to do my stretch.
Workout. Yeah.
Need some lumbar support. Something. I need something. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed doing it. All joking aside, really was a good time. And some people got some cool cards. Really cool.
All joking aside, Joe has not stopped whining about it in our group text since it happened. So there.
I've been sending pictures like, oh my God, look at all these boxes.
You need Mike's Retro Trading Cards branded elbow pads.
Yes. That's more important than the box.
I'll get on that. Yeah, I'll get on that.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, you did a great job, Joe, for not being a professional breaker. I was very amused and entertained by your lack of knowledge of the product. So you fit right in.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
100%. It was like listening to someone say Tim Biakabatuka when they're breaking 2000 football.
Yes, definitely. Oh, how's it going, EP?
Going okay. I'm surviving. I had a little bit of a week at work, but that happens from time to time. I'm gonna open up my beverage.
Time to time, like all the time, every time.
I mean, it happens more often sometimes. It's tough in the holiday season because everybody's trying to get their days off in by the end of the year, that sort of stuff. So it makes it a little tough. I did have a couple of days off for the break, which was nice to get that break. And I did spend some time. I talked to you guys here and there about some things. I'm gonna, for the football card collection, I'm gonna start maybe doing some bigger lots, just random lots of star players, and that's exciting. Kind of, I have the first lot kind of already figured out, and so I just want to put together a few more lots. It should be able to get, like, based on the cards I took out, I should get another probably like 5-ish lots of these, all just star players. So it should be pretty cool. Excited about that.
Interesting.
Speaking of the break EP, I did forget one thing. You did say that you would drive throughout the night to get to my house to help me sort, pack, and ship.
I heard that.
Yeah. It was in the text thread. It was in our text thread, if you remember correctly. Big shout out to Chuck over at Silver Sport. He actually does that. And
he drove to your house?
No, he drove to Ed's house, which is even further away. It's states away. And he drove from Arizona to California to help Ed out. So what I'm hearing is Chuck is a better friend to Ed than you are to me. That's a takeaway here. So thanks, EP. You had off on Friday and you couldn't drive in.
I was not off Friday. I was off Thursday.
You couldn't have drove in on Thursday? Wow.
He should have been there Wednesday for the break.
Wednesday for the break live, and then help me throughout the night. And then while I go to work on Thursday, you finish packing and shipping. I mean, it works for me, but whatever.
I see nothing wrong with that plan.
Yeah. Mike would have done it.
I definitely would have if I wouldn't have been so busy.
Mike had the opportunity to do it. What are you even talking about?
You don't know his life. You don't know what he was doing. God, that's inappropriate.
Some of us are busy. We have jobs, EP.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to the card show yesterday that you weren't at, EP. So you're a little jealous of that.
You mean Saturday?
Saturday. That's what I said.
Yeah.
I haven't gone to sleep since I went to the card show, so it kind of feels like the same day. Yeah. So
I had 2 Christmas things to go to, so I wasn't able to go. So before we started recording, I even said to you, I started to ask you about it. I was like, well, let's wait and talk about it on the show because I want to know how many dealers were there, how many people were there, what was the cryptid situation with the cryptid, the fun Krampus cryptid celebration, whatever, experiment, something like that, weird thing. Yeah, probably
more of a celebration than experiment, but I did see some characters walking around in full regalia, so yes, that was quite interesting to see a mix of the Krampus people and the sports card collectors and the Pokemon collectors all coexisting in the same space.
Whoa. Was there any crossover between some of the card collectors and the Krampus people?
Not that I was aware of, but
all right.
I mean, I could see maybe some of the Pokemon people, but I didn't see anybody dressed up looking at tables. But yeah, there was one guy that was all in like a mask and everything, and he was tall, and I don't know if he was on stilts or what, but yeah, that was interesting. And he had a couple people do as he walked by.
And he was walking up to tables going, "What's the best you can do on this Charizard?" Was that what was happening? Okay.
Something like that. Yeah. I think so. Right.
Was Card Show Kevin there, or was he there for the card show, or was he there for the Krampus convention?
He was probably there for the Krampus because I didn't see him set up at the card show. Yeah. But the usual characters were there. There were a lot. It had to go down the one part of the mall that it's not usually in. So because of some shops that were set up, but I started walking around and all I was finding was Pokemon. I'm like, are there any card dealers here with like sports cards? But I did find them. They were going down that other wing. So some good stuff there. Bill was there. Gage was set up. All the usual characters. Like I said, that guy that comes up to your table too, that has like that buys and sells stuff, that was telling us about like the Ohtani cards, that the $1,000 Ohtani cards that he bought and everything. He was actually set up. So,
really? Okay.
Yeah, he had some good stuff. And I got to watch him negotiate a deal on a one-of-one something or other. I think it was one of the, what were they? The Disney characters that were in the tops as the baseball players. I think it might have been Donald Duck. Yeah. So he and a lady were going back and forth, and I was like, I should be recording this. This is just like a YouTube video. And
this is content.
It was very interesting. So yeah, he bought that, and I got some stuff from him, and yeah, that wasn't all I got though.
What was foot traffic like though at the show.
It was pretty busy. Yeah. Most of the sports card tables, like there were a couple that I wanted to look through boxes that I had to wait or didn't even get a chance to look through the box. So,
wow.
Because there were probably a lot of people like you, like congregated to the sports card stuff. So it was like elbow room only because there were only a couple. Right?
It really is segmented. Like it's just, you have the Pokemon people and they're going there, and the sports card people are all congregating at those tables. And it's what it is. Pretty much a normal show that you have down there. But I bought some.
Was that wing, the extra wing, was that the Hot Topic and the Spencer's was like that? Like that's where we were for that last show because they had the all the Christmassy like holiday type stuff.
Yeah,
where the card show normally is. So they also had I don't know where the Krampus stuff was, but
there was a T-shirt like thing set up in there too. So
pulling back the curtain, that's a mall that the three of us, for the viewers, that's a mall that the three of us would go Christmas shopping for our families at, and then go to the Pizza Hut down the street and order like 3 large pizzas and get made fun of by the waitress for not eating all of it. Like I think you can eat more of that, guys. Come on. Yeah. And then we'd be sick for a week. But yeah. And I think we got Dairy Queen on the way through too. I mean, we were hot messes. I mean, we still are, but
I also bought a baseball card collection. Bill from the local card shop, whenever I get a text from him saying, "Hey, Mike, call me," I know something's up. And I called him. There was a guy there that had some baseball cards and tried to set up something to meet him on Friday, but then he wasn't able to. So I actually met him after the show on Saturday. And I met him at Sheets here because I knew I could go in and get more money if I needed money. And actually, like, we came to a price. I asked him, he gave me a price that was about $100 more than what I had in mind. So we just met in the middle and we did it, but I was very happy. It's a great collection of baseball. I'm going to have a baseball card sale. I found over 100 Griffey cards already. So you can't go wrong there. It's just really cool stuff. It's really nice stuff. And all of it was in top loaders. It's in great condition. I don't know where it came from originally, but he has more. So I already told him I'll buy the rest. So
Take.
I did. And he was happy. I mean, that's the thing though. The stuff I buy those, 90s base cards of star players and minor inserts that, what are you going to do with those? He said he set up like at a flea market. He said, I tried to like sell this stuff, like get into this. He's like, I can't do it. And because that stuff's hard to sell. You have to have me or somebody like me come around that wants to buy it. And you're never going to get rid of it in bulk unless you find that one guy. And I'm that guy. So thankfully in this area,
for sure,
I'm able to pick that up. So I'm very happy with that. So that's always exciting. Going through, looking through cards, seeing what you got. Always a good time. But that's all I got. So is that the end of the pod?
Wrap it.
Let's wrap it up right there. No, I hate to say it, but we have a lot of stuff we have to talk about this week. And I apologize to the viewers in advance because we have a lot of stories that just aren't the greatest stories, but things that are going on in the hobby nonetheless. And this is stuff we talk about. So
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas.
Or Merry Krampus or whatever that
actually it's
is.
Better. Yeah.
But we're going to start with the PSA grade swap update. We talked last week about how there was somebody who graded 30 Pokemon cards, the same card, every single one of them came back the same grade. It was a 9. The person was like, what in the heck? How did I send this many in and every single one is
of the
9?
same exact card?
Of the same exact card.
Right
we
now.
Talked about Charlie and grading, probably going to get in trouble. Well, apparently after they changed the cards, we know all about this. He had sold them, blah, blah, blah. We talked about it last week. Go watch that if you want the details on that. But we're here for the update. And the update is that Nat Turner went on an X post to talk about the situation. And he said that the order was flagged to be reviewed by a senior grader because he thought that sounded odd that all 30 of the cards would come back same grade. So they apparently flagged it. This is PSA's version. Nat said they flagged it. A senior grader looked at it. And in the interim, while they were grading it and they changed 11 of them to PSA 10s instead of 9s, they didn't have a chance to get that updated in the offer system, and the person accepted the offer before they could do that, and that's why he accepted for a 9 and then later saw it was a 10. So PSA's version of this is that this is something that they do from time to time when something is brought up that clearly looks like it was a mistake. So they'll flag it for review, and somehow their system isn't set up that they can stop having offers offered for these cards while they're reviewing the grades. And they're going to look into that though and try to get their systems updated.
Thank God.
So,
okay, well then shut it down. We're good.
Did they snipe it? Did they snipe it here? Did they snipe it? Did they snipe it here?
They might have sniped it. But no, I mean, there could be, this could be 100% absolutely the truth. Or this could be the representative from a gigantic company coming up with their best excuse to cover what happened. Joe, tell me which one it was.
Maybe a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, maybe. First off, so a senior grader, this got flagged, so a senior grader had to come in and look at these cards. Okay, I get that. Makes sense. Why is everyone waiting like 2 months for their cards to get through QA1 and QA2? Why do we have that then? Why?
Yeah, I know.
Why when the stuff gets clogged up, right?
Yeah.
Why when the stuff gets clogged up are in those two things, then there should be no need for a senior grader to come
who's
in
looking
and
at
do
it.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Nat doing that? And by the way, from now on, I refuse to refer to him as Nat Turner. He will now be known as Mega God, as Geoff Wilson referred to him. I'm sure we'll talk a little bit more about Mr. Wilson here in a little bit. So Mega God, Nat Turner, as he was referred to on the Sports Card Investor channel. I think the conspiracy theories of all this, I think there is a reason to have them, because PSA, did he even actually tweet that, Mike, or just agree with Geoff Wilson's tweet?
It wasn't even, it was on somebody else's tweet about it.
It was, I believe, Geoff Wilson's tweet.
No, it wasn't. It was on it was on Polly Donuts, his Twitter.
Because
but it was a reply to his original tweet. It wasn't something he tweeted out.
And there was actually a tweet that Geoff Wilson put out as well, where he mapped out what he thought. Okay, well, but long story short, Nat Turner has not actually said anything about this other than replying to a couple of tweets. That seems, for the largest company in the world, maybe not even the bare minimum. The largest card grading company in the world, EP. You know what I meant. Don't shake your head. The largest card grading company in the world, $1 billion+ company, can't even say anything. And I'm sorry, like this makes people think there's more to this than there might actually be, because the owner, the Mega God, if you will, did not come out and say anything, did not put a statement out. And him and Ryan Hogue do a lot of interviews everywhere, all the time, all at once. So why are we not hearing from either one of them about this? It makes it look maybe shadier than it really was. But if you're not going to fill the void of no response, we're going to fill it for you. Us as a hobby are going to fill that void with what we think happened. So maybe, I don't know, take your $1 billion company, write a press release, or get on X, or do what Peter did. Teapot mentioned this, and we'll talk a little bit about him as well, I'm sure. But Peter would have come out and said something. Why did Nat Turner not do that?
Yeah, I agree 100% with what you're saying. Why? Again, the parallels to Snipe here are like, for this company, the parallel for this company, like, again, like Joe said, is like the biggest company in the hobby. The parallels to the Snipe situation, which was this brand new company that made horrible mistakes. Like, these are, if all is true, and like Joe said, column A, column B, probably a little bit of both. But if all these things are true, then they made a really big mess up here, and they're not covering. They're not covering their tracks fast enough. I'm not covering the tracks, makes it sound bad. They're not trying to fix. They're trying to fix things fast enough. I think the quality checks 1 and 2, like Joe said, like, how are they not, like, a senior grader? That is probably their job of all these new people? Like, how are they doing that ahead of time? How are they not looking at this whole order ahead of time? Why are they waiting until it gets to the person and waiting until after he accepts the offers from PSA to make this happen? Like, there are a lot of things here that need to be addressed, and that they should make sure they get addressed pretty quickly. I think I may have said that I was afraid that, like, how many times has this happened before? And I'm guessing it probably has happened before, but maybe it's not quite as bad as I had in my head about the number of people that have been swindled by this situation. Not necessarily that PSA is doing it on purpose, but maybe that has happened in the past.
And I want to make a point that we didn't really touch on a little bit, but I know we texted about quite a bit after the fact. I am so sick and tired of people on Twitter, of people who are PSA fanboys going out and saying, do you think $1 billion business would really ruin their reputation like this?
Let me read you something here, because Geoff Wilson, like I had written down here, he tweeted out, do you really believe $1 billion, all caps, and hyphenated for some reason? You don't have to hyphenate $1 billion. Just saying, Geoff. Plus, pronounce T's as t, not d. It drives me crazy watching his content, because every T he pronounces as a D. It's important. No, it's important. Mm-hmm. Anyway, there's no hyphen in $1 billion. But back to what I'm saying. Do you really believe $1 billion company would endanger their whole business? Again, capitals, no hyphenation there though. By skimming a few bucks on cheap Pokemon cards they bought back. Yeah.
Yes.
I do. If you look through the history of shadiness out of big companies, it typically comes at a lower level because they're way less likely to get caught. Why don't you get it through your head, you freaking idiot? I'm sorry, but yes, this happens all the time. They try to do stuff because a whole lot of little transactions add up to a lot of money and a lot less suspicion. If you go out there and just screw everybody on big dollar things, people are going to know about it right away. Plus, the people that have all this money invested in your company are going to be affected by it, and they have more money to fight themselves. Whereas the regular collector putting a base Pokemon card in, what's he going to do about it? And this is a rare situation that this crap came up. But my God, we know that they just opened a submission center in Cards HQ. We know that they buy and create your repack product for you. Yes, you even admittedly say that's probably a conflict. It is. So just shut up about it, because nothing you say out of your mouth about this has any credibility. And all it does is cloud the picture, which is why you're saying it. Go ahead.
So number one, can I call him a fraud without being bleeped this week? No. So we had to bleep that. Okay. Unfortunately.
What if he calls him a Fred?
He's
not the actual word.
Yeah. So a couple of things. You mentioned the PSA submission center. 3393 Peachtree Road, Northeast Suite 2027. That's a GameStop in Atlanta. Just use that. Just throwing that out there. I have a couple here. 1801 Howe Mill Road. Check that one out. I'm sure they'll be great. There's a bunch of GameStops you can probably go to that you don't have to go to Cards HQ.
But wait, they don't have PSA employees there.
Yeah.
You're just giving them to a GameStop employee.
Yeah.
They also don't have
doing the same
Geoff Wilson's office package coming in. They're getting special treatment.
Doing the same exact thing. You hand them something, they put it in a box and they ship it off. Same exact thing, no matter where you go.
They can't even grade your cards right. Why are they any better at taking them in? Oh, they take them and send them off. Oh, wow.
And by the way, we joke around about the bad graders. Give me your gun, give me your badge. You're going to be on eBay authentication. Where the people that are getting shipped down to Cards HQ, how good quality employees do you think they are? They can't even make it in the New Jersey office. They can't make it in the New Jersey office. So to the first point about it's a $1 billion business. There have been so many stories about like car companies who are like, oh, if we don't put this screw in here, we'll save like millions of dollars. The unfortunate thing is the screw leads to like I don't know, cars exploding. But they're like, well, we can save it, and the odds of it happening are pretty slim. So we can just try and get away with that. The cost to money saved, the repercussions to money saved quotient is in their favor. So that of course they're going to do it. And if this story didn't come out, no one would have any idea. If this story wasn't just blown up, no one would have any idea what was going on there. And the one thing I thought about as well is I need to know which 9s got turned into 10s in this situation. The reason I need to know that is, were they only the ones he accepted the offers on? You know what I mean? Like that's no one's talked about that yet. So there's 30 cards, same card. They all get 9s. 10 of them turned into 10s or something like that. There's about. Which 10? Was it the 10 he accepted offers on? Or was it the 10 or 20 he didn't? That's a big part of this story that no one's talked about. So I'm very curious about that. But yes, I 100% believe. And all you're doing is obfuscating.
Yep.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
That's all you're doing to that. You're trying to muddy the waters. Oh, but the big story is some inconsistencies with grading and our grading submission center right over here behind me. Like you're trying to muddy the waters, and it might be working. Luckily, some people are seeing through it, but it might be working a little bit because he is the biggest face in the hobby right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, great points, Joe. All of them. Yeah, I mean, he did. Geoff released a video that I watched. That I didn't watch the video that we're going to talk about later, or whatever. I watched the wrong video.
All checks out.
But in that one, in that video, he did say that the original, the guy who submitted the cards received offer. He was able to get the 10s that he had said, "Oh, I'll sell those." But yeah, we have not found out for sure what percentage of the cards that he was offered on were 10s. And obviously the PSA is not buying those. They're being a broker for other dealers or whatever. So it's not PSA specifically that is doing it, but I mean, it's all handled through PSA.
I'm going to stop you. I'm going to stop you right there.
I'm going to stop both of you right there.
Okay.
We're going to talk a little bit now about the Geoff Wilson video that Joe and I watched. And that's one of his big points in there, that he's saying that it's not PSA that's buying your cards. They should name this something different. They should maybe tell you who it is that's buying it. But Neo had a video this week about power packs. You know, GameStop power packs. He did a little research on like the trademarks and everything and who owns them. Turns out that the address of the ownership of power packs is, I don't know, in Santa Ana, California, and the same suite that Collector's Universe is in. So PSA isn't buying your cards, but guess what? I guess apparently PSA is the one who registered the power packs and everything. So I don't know. Power packs may not be owned by GameStop, or it might be a joint thing. Wow. But Collector's Universe is buying cards for the power packs. So, and they're involved with that company at some level, even if I don't know exactly how deep, but they are buying it. So all of this stuff that Geoff Wilson's been saying about they're not buying your cards, not really true. They're not buying all of the cards that are being bought, but they are buying some of them, because we mentioned a while ago that the GameStop CEO said they're having troubles getting enough cards.
Yeah.
They're buying, I guarantee you, Collector's Universe is buying a lot of these cards for the power packs.
That changes everything, right? Because they're probably buying the most number of cards. They're probably buying the most.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise
and
me
again, he's such a Fred, isn't he? God, Geoff Wilson is such a Fred. He's a big old Fred. So I wrote this quote down from Teapot, the Fred's little crony. PSA is not the one buying your cards, ... to my knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, nice little proviso there at the end, to my knowledge. But he then says how PSA may be buying for GameStop repacks. So they don't buy them to your knowledge, but you know that they're buying them for the GameStop repacks. So which one is it? And also, PSA is getting a taste of all this money anyway, changing hands. You think out of the goodness of their heart, PSA is like, hey, we'll have this buying network where approved buyers like from big shops and from GameStop can go and use our technology to go and buy these cars. You don't think they get a taste of that? They get a little something out of that. Those Pokemon cards that they changed the grades on, you don't think whoever they bought them for is giving them a percentage? They're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. Anyone who thinks that billion-dollar companies won't screw anyone they have to over to make an extra penny, nickel, I guess now since we don't mint pennies, but a nickel, you are willfully ignorant, or at a certain point you just don't care, which is completely possible too. You either don't care or you're too dumb to see what's going on if you don't think that these billion-dollar companies and all their little toadies around the hobby aren't doing something shady. And the very beginning of the video, and as Geoff's laying out what happened, he said they're not doing anything. There's no conspiracy here. So he's defending their shadiness by basically saying that they're incompetent, right? Yeah. Like, oh, they just don't know how to grade cards. I don't know what's worse in this hobby, shadiness or incompetence. PSA this week or this past week, it has to be one of those things. They're either shady or they're incompetent. And I don't know which one's worse. The fact that the hobby biggest name in the hobby is either trying to screw people over out of a few bucks, but again, it adds up, screwing people over out of a few bucks, or they're completely incompetent and don't know how to do the only thing that we are sending them our cards for them to do.
It's not a good look when here's just one order that you're admitting that over 30% of the order was misgraded. So as a collector, as somebody who's used PSA, that makes me go, well, how many others are there? How many cards are being misgraded? And they don't want you to know, but there are a lot. Again, people are paying 3-4 times the value for a PSA 10 over a PSA 9. And how many of those 9 should have been 10s or 10 should have been 9? This is the whole quaking the foundation a little bit. It's not going to destroy PSA, but this, more than anything I've seen, has absolutely like lessened some of the trust that people just blindly give them, because even if there's no shadiness with the offers and making money, you're admitting that your grading is so inconsistent that one order alone could have 30% of the items not graded properly. That's not good either.
Swing by Cards HQ and drop off your submission though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because they know better than GameStop how to send them to California.
Yeah, Joe made the Office Space reference last week, and then a couple times it come up where he said things that are along the same lines, both of you, where the small things are the ones that add up for companies like this. The couple other things, I'm glad we went back around to it. Geoff Wilson, the original we were talking about with his tweet or whatever, and like a bunch of all cap stuff. If taken from somebody who works in the newspaper business, I deal with a lot of comments and a lot of letters to the editor, that sort of stuff. If you are writing in all caps, it doesn't mean anything. We look right past it. You are not doing what you think you are doing. The words matter on their own. The all caps don't matter. You're trying too hard. You are trying too hard when you put in stuff in all caps. And then also, when you were talking about Geoff, when he was with his tweets and all that sort of stuff, it's almost like Kevin Bacon from not Old School. What's the National Lampoon's movie? The college movie where he's saying nothing to see here. Everybody remain calm.
Oh, Animal House.
Animal House. He's like, nothing to see here. Remain calm. And meanwhile,
and he gets trampled.
Yeah, he gets trampled. Everything's going crazy in the background. Don't worry about it. Don't look what's going on back here. Everything's fine in the hobby with the grading. Don't worry about it right now.
Yeah, it's like the Wizard of Oz.
Yes, don't look behind the curtain.
Yeah.
And his quote at the very beginning of this was, "It doesn't stop me from speaking the truth." His business relationship, the quote he used, his business relationship, where he's probably making millions of dollars through this relationship in different ways. It doesn't stop me from speaking the truth. And then he's tried to say that business relationship was a reason that he got information from Nat. And on that, it was like a 3-word response to Geoff Wilson's like theory of what actually happened was, yep, you're right, Jeff. And it's like, that was it. So that business relationship got you that. Okay, cool. It's not like you got him on your show to, I don't know, explain the process, even though I still think it's absolute horseshit, however they're going to explain it. At least have him on there and ask him some tough questions. But guess what? When you're beholden to someone, you're never going to ask them hard questions. And that's exactly where we're at with these two things.
That's why people need to watch small channels on YouTube that talk about this stuff, because we're the only people that give you honest opinions because we're not being paid by somebody. So many people are paid. And I do want to shout out Neo's video. If you haven't watched Neo's video about like who's actually buying the cards, go do that, because like there's really good information in that, and definitely go check that out, because if you're interested in that, that is a great auxiliary video to watch, because it'll tell you a lot about what power packs are and who owns it and who's buying, and kind of makes the whole PSA isn't buying your cards like just clearly bullshit. So all right, well, I thought this was going to be the most drama of the week, but then we turn around another day or two later and there's more drama going on. And again, nothing to see here. Fanatics Live's, I believe it's their biggest breaker, Filthbomb Breaks. They pulled not one, not two, but 3 MLB debut patches out of 4 boxes. Now, going by the odds, I think last year somebody calculated the odds of that happening are 1 in 89 million. The CEO of Filthbomb said they're not getting loaded boxes because, of course, you know, that's ridiculous. We've totally established in this hobby that like loaded boxes aren't a thing. They were lucky because, you know, if you have an option to choose loaded boxes or luck, it's clearly the 1 in 89 million chance that would be the more reasonable answer there. You have other people saying it's clearly a collation problem. Yeah. Intentional or unintentional is my question for you there. When are all the coincidences no longer a coincidence? Things can only be a coincidence for so long. But if the coincidence keeps happening over and over and over and over and over again, at some point, it's no longer a coincidence. It's statistically impossible to be a coincidence. And we have seen every time that breakers get special things that, oh no, it's just luck. It's just bad collation. Again, going back to the like PSA thing, if Topps is taking their premier cards and not making sure they're collated properly, then screw them. Like, what in the hell are we even doing this for? The coincidence that, oh, there's a collation problem, but it just happens to favor the biggest breaker on a platform owned by the company that's making the cards. Get the fuck out of here with that.
Whoa, no.
That's
enough of that.
Sorry, but come on. People actually go out there, and all the minions that they have and their paid influencers. There's one woman in particular on Twitter who appeared out of nowhere, and now she's a baseball card expert, and she's out there towing the company line for both of these companies. Come on, this is ridiculous. Collation problem? Yeah, the problem with the collation is they're loading up certain boxes and giving it to a certain person that breaks more than anybody else that they make a lot of money from. Follow the money. They always say in any like crime case, any criminal case, follow the money.
Says it all the time.
Follow the money in a situation like this, and it'll tell you this is not a collation problem, not an unintentional collation problem. It's not a coincidence. This is something that happens. And I know there are probably some people that don't always watch our pod that are arguing in the comments right now, but you're wrong. Like, it's too much of a coincidence for it to keep happening and just happen to go to the biggest breaker. Oh, they buy the most though, right? That makes everything
I'm wildly glad that Fanatics has found their backyard breaks. It is very nice to see that they picked their winner, they picked their horse, and here we go. We're in for the ride now. I remember we kind of had a disagreement on this podcast. I think it was EP and I went back and forth shockingly about this with backyard breaks and Panini giving them loaded stuff. Yeah, check the film, check the tape, as they say. But yeah, I was saying it back then. I'm saying it now. They're picking their horse. They did. It's Filthbomb Breaks. And Mike, they pulled 2 more debut patches the next day, right? And the owner actually, who's the rookie, Kurtz? Is it Kurtz is the big rookie or one of the big rookies? He actually called his shot the morning before. I don't think they
pulled one, though. I don't think it was them that pulled that one.
Oh, they didn't? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was somebody else. So,
okay. I'll double check, but I thought he was tweeting it out.
I thought that originally too, but I don't think it was them that pulled him. I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
But my point, I posted this on Twitter, like you see all these other, I think there's another story here, and it's all these breakers that are up in arms that Filthbomb Breaks got all these juice boxes. And I completely agree that they did, but any breaker who is lamenting the hobby because of it and like, this isn't good for collectors, no, you're just upset that you weren't the breaker that got the juice cases. So shut up. I'm sorry. You have no room to stand here because you absolutely, if you got those cases, if you were the chosen, the golden child of Fanatics to get juice stuff, you would love life. So don't tell me you wouldn't. You just happen to not like that breaker got it. Not that specific breaker, just a breaker that wasn't used. So I just that's like this false outrage from the breakers is hilarious to me. But yeah, at the end of the day, they're getting juice boxes. Fanatics knows where stuff is. We see so many athletes pull these huge hits, some of themselves, right? The only one that was completely on the up and up was when the Miz pulled the Rock Auto. That was the only one that was totally on the up and up. The rest of them, though, were absolutely said so. AP said so it must be true. But yes, these they know where the cards are. Why do you think? So we had Batman Metal. We opened up that case, and there were purple cards that were damaged. They asked me to send them the picture of the case number, the picture of the barcode inside they know where the stuff is. They want to make sure you're not trying to scheme them. I guarantee you Fanatics knows where everything is. If they pull up the number, pull up the barcode, they know where every hit is in this product.
And if they don't, they own the printers. If you have something like the MLB debut patches and you own the printer, there is zero excuse to have a collation issue. How does that happen? That's what I want the people who say, oh, it's just a collation issue, to tell me how that happens and how the bad collation, if it was bad collation, wouldn't we see other breakers getting, like, these 3 were pulled out of the same case. The other ones they pulled, they buy a lot, they rip a lot. That's normal. Okay, I can see that. If you get 100 cases, they're going to get some. They're not going to get 3 out of 4 boxes out of 1 case. And it was only them. So if it's a collation problem, it would have only been a collation problem for that one little case that they ended up having. Bullshit. I'm sorry, Pete. Go ahead.
It's fine. I get to go third on the show, which is really good for my improv skills. Because I mean, you guys have made great points, and this time Mike got to go third, which is fine. I get to go fourth this time. It's
first and third.
Yeah, first and third. So I am going to do my best. I'm going to play a little bit of devil's advocate. I'm not going to say there. I'm not going to say there are juice boxes. I'm not going to say there are juice boxes. There are not juice boxes. All I'm going to say is though, the collation issue might just be a situation of you make your own luck. So they're using their CT scanner to make sure they're hitting debut patch. And Topps or Fanatics isn't going to be like, hey, dude, you got to stop doing this. Like, no, we can do whatever we want. We're Filthbomb. And they're just doing whatever they want. I feel like that is the case with these boxes. I think there's got to be something else on there. There's no way they're getting a case full of MLB debut patches. I think they're probably scanning stuff to make sure that their streams are banging every time.
So you're saying they would have opened multiple cases
Yes.
took out the MLB view, like then sealed them back up, and then acted like they were opening a sealed case.
Very, very possible. Yeah.
There's an interesting theory. I mean, this hobby, I don't think you can eliminate any option.
Right, that's the thing. Yeah, it looks like it was Filthbomb that got those other two as well. Yeah, it's
somebody in the comments will let us know.
But they definitely, long story short, they definitely got two more after they pulled three, which is even crazier.
But still, they do open a lot, so I can understand that would be normal for a huge breaker with a lot of cases. If they have 100, they'd get those. But 3 and 4 boxes from one case, when you're the only breaker that got 3 out of 4 boxes, or even 2 out of the same case, makes me think it's not a collation issue.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. They probably have 100 cases. They could scan the cases and make it look like wild.
And I'll tell you what,
that's a crazy theory, conspiracy theory. But
I kind of harken back to what we talked about with PSA too. It's either Fanatics is being wildly shady, or they're really terrible at this. Maybe a little bit of column A and a little bit of column B, but like I don't know what's worse, shadiness in this hobby or incompetence. And the two largest companies in this hobby, we are having that debate. So do we think they were shady, or are they just plain incompetent? Like, that's a debate we're having with PSA, the largest grader, grading almost 2 million cards a month, and Fanatics, who's going to own the world for the next 20 years when it comes to the hobby. Shadiness, incompetent. Shadiness, incompetent. I mean, what are we doing here? Like, it's got to be one, could be both, but it's not none. It's not neither of those things. It's definitely at least one of them, probably a mixture of the two.
And, for both of these stories, just remember, if all this stuff was going on, they're not going to tell you. So they would be saying, no, we're just lucky, or, oh, no, this was a one-off thing at PSA. They're not going to tell you. They're not going to say, oh, yeah, well, we do this so we can make more money. So, yeah.
They're just going to keep swimming in their cash. They're just gonna and then people are going to keep buying it.
And with it. People lost their mind over the downtown scandal, where a bunch of people were just getting multiple downtowns in a box. That, to me, actually felt like a correlation issue, because it was happening with everyone. It wasn't happening with the rookie, the most important card. I think you called it that last week, EP. The most important card any player is going to have is their MLB debut patch, or their NBA or their NFL coming up, right? These are the most important cards, not some downtowns that are probably printed to the moon that we don't know about anyway. And one last thing, and I'm going to pull back from the PSA story as well and bring it forward. Is it wild to anyone else that Geoff Wilson and Teapot are talking that, the PSA thing, that's just a conspiracy theory? They didn't even talk about the Fanatics Filthbomb thing at all. Yet Teapot goes on this rant about this cabal of USPS employees underground working together to steal card packages, but you're calling everyone else a crazy conspiracy theorist. How about you strap that aluminum hat to your fucking bald head, pal? Because if you think that that's a real conspiracy, but this other stuff we're seeing with our own eyes isn't, you're just as bad as that Fred Geoff Wilson. All right, so keep that in mind too, sir.
What if somebody at PSA called up somebody from Fanatics and said, hey, listen, we got a real big problem here. Can you guys mess something up too?
Cases over to Filthbomb? That'd be great. Oh my God. Just whatever.
Well,
I love Star Trek cards. Thank God for that.
This problem probably won't be going away, because apparently breakers like Filthbomb are going to end up getting even more of the product, because word was out this week that Fanatics is going to be cutting some of their smaller breakers out of their breaking network. The shops that now are part of the Fanatics breaking program, it's being massively downsized to allocate more product to bigger breakers. I mean, none of us are surprised by this, I'm sure. Joe has mentioned a million times on here, well, yeah, the products are going to go to the breakers that are breaking on Fanatics Live because Fanatics makes more money when it's being sold on there than if your mom and pop breaker that's getting it in Danville, Pennsylvania is breaking. So here it is. It's already started. They don't even have all the licenses yet. And it's already, they've cut all the LCS out. You can't go buy a box of cards anymore. They want people to break. Now they want people to break, but they want to break on Fanatics Live. So they're going to make sure that all of this product gets wrapped up to these breakers that they can make money on. And it's not going to change. They own this hobby. And this is how it's going to be because our overlord has said so.
Not Mega God though. That's reserved for
no. That's
Turner apparently.
Mega God. What a
Mega
weird
God.
term.
Weird.
Weird. Very weird.
Such a Fred. Anyway, so yeah, so I've been saying if you're gonna break it with Fanatics Live because they're gonna send the good stuff there. And why wouldn't they? As a business, it makes total sense because they can get you coming and going, right? And by the way, if it's broke on Fanatics Live and not broken from a mom and pop breaker, guess what else they get? They get first dibs at the cards, the big cards that they can sell on that PWCC platform that they took over. And Ken Golden isn't going to be getting your cards. They're going to see them broke. They're going to get broke. Is that the right way to say it? They're going to see them broken. They're going to see them opened, right? They're going to see them broken on their channel. They're going to reach out because they know who the person who got that team in a break is, and they're going to sell those cards on Fanatics Live, probably after partnering with PSA to grade them beforehand anyway. So like I mentioned, they don't care about small businesses because they are not one. They want the Geoff Wilsons. They want the Tom Brady's. I'm sure he'll still get allocation, right? They want shops like that. I made the comment before that they would not like Mike's Upper Deck.
No, God, no.
They wouldn't like Docs. They wouldn't like these other Yukon. They wouldn't like those. And we've talked to the owner of Yukon so many times about how he can't get product. Anyone who complained about Panini, just always remember the grass is not greener on the other side in most cases. It is definitely not here if you are a small-time breaker or a small-time LCS. And they have given us this, it's almost like they have like screamed this in our face that we're going to screw over the little guy. And it's just like, we're like, oh, okay, well, Panini's bad though, so that's okay. Like we have this like, oh, we don't care because you're not Panini. They had what I thought was a really cool program. The MVP buyback program. And it was to get credit, to get people to go to an LCS. And it was successful. And guess what happened? They saw it was too successful. They're like, nope, you're going to get Fanatics cash instead. You're not going to be able to use that at the LCS. They were screaming from the rooftops, we are here to screw the little guy. And we just keep bending over and taking it from them. You keep buying their shit. It's never going to end.
Like 4.5 years ago, let's go back 4.5 years to episode 1 when we had all this hope where there's another check mark off that box or off those boxes that we had so much hope for when they said they're looking to get rid of the third-party distributors, right? So that would mean, in theory, lower prices for people trying to buy it, for the local hobby shops, that sort of stuff. It was already kind of part of there with the hobby shops not getting it, but now here we are with even the breakers getting cut out, the smaller breakers getting cut out, and they are just funneling all of the cash, funneling all of their sales into ways they can get more cash, and it's bad for the hobby, 100%.
Yeah, it's gross. I mean, everything we've talked about so far is just gross. And that's why I was not looking forward to doing the podcast, because it has been a very negative podcast, but it's because a lot of negative crap going on. We should
episode.
Yes, definitely. We should actually go back sometime and redo his interview that we did episode 1 on,
light of what we know now,
and see what they're doing compared to what he sold. I think that would be a great video.
Yeah, and
it
could be a Wednesday show. That has Wednesday show potential, right?
I think so. Yeah. So let's go to something a little bit better. You sent me this, but I already had this down this morning, Joe. The 1966 Topps Batman #1 card and a PSA 9 sold for $131,000. It is a new record for that card. Apparently, it was sold on Heritage. Apparently, it was purchased for $45,000 in June of 2024 on Heritage. So in a little over a year's time, that card has appreciated from 45,000 to 131,000. A little bit of love for some non-sports. I have a set of these, by the way, and mine's probably not quite a 9.
Probably not a 9.
Or 7 or 6 or 5 or 4 or 3 or 2. But these were tough. You don't find them in great shape. It is the highest grade out there, but this is cool. A little win for non-sports, a big sale. We have to talk about this.
I love this so much. By the way, it's a beautiful card. It's card
the
number
card
1 in
is
the set.
awesome. Absolutely awesome.
It's the Batman card. It's the Batman card. And we talked about the Luke Skywalker went for what, 200,000 recently. That was a 10. Imagine what this card, I'm not a huge Star Wars guy. I'm more of a Batman guy, right? Imagine what this card would go for in a 10.
Would it be 5X?
I was going to say $500,000.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe
I think it'd
more.
be over $500,000.
It might be. I mean,
because it would be the only one.
It would be the only one.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's $1 million. It has kind of the Hulk Hogan Wrestling All-Stars thing. Like there just aren't any in the condition that are ever going to be a 10. So if somewhere, somehow out there was one, I think it would go like way more than people would even think.
It would be, I mean, it would absolutely clear the highest for non-sports card for sure. And then where it goes from there, who knows? But yeah, it's a really, really cool set. And it's interesting because, and I'm going to talk about this where we were doing these outside the box collecting videos and Mike's working on one, maybe EP, we'll see, but I'm already working on number 2 to lap you, EP. But I'm going to talk a little bit about DC cards, and there really aren't those 90 MU. Right. There's not really that set with DC. So I think people are either going to have to look more towards what's currently coming out, which again, Batman Metal was beautiful. Go watch our breaks of that, our rips of that. That was a lot of fun. But they're going to have to go back to this stuff, I think. And that's awesome. That 1967 card is for my money. I'm paying. Give me that one and 70,000 over the Skywalker in a PSA 10.
How many of these copies of this Batman have had a rubber band across the front of it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was definitely how they were stored. Probably everybody who had a set probably had a store with rubber band around it.
And so that was card number 1. So you knew it was getting the worst treatment.
Yep, 100%. Joe, do you have any concerns that this is going to bring too much, shine too much of a spotlight on the non-sports world, and all of a sudden non-sports is going to go the way of Pokemon, where it is the thing that everybody gets graded now? Is there any concern that this is going to be a
the stuff like this was getting graded before, like the older stuff was getting graded. You see that with the Star Wars cards a lot. You see it with like the older Marvel stuff a lot. I don't think so. Like it will continue to be graded as things are graded. Like it's unfortunate, but that's where we're at. If someone sees something that has the smallest potential value, they're going to grade it. Something like this, though, I'm not as offended if someone wants to send it off to get slabbed, because you don't trimming and recoloring and all those things are possible in those cards. So it wouldn't be the worst idea probably, but yeah, it's you're going to see a lot of eyeballs on DC more now. Specifically, then I think I've talked about the Supergirl trailer. Superman was an awesome movie, Peacemaker, all that stuff. With the DC universe, I think there's going to be a lot of buzz for these cards more so than the other stuff, and that will lead to people grading. Look what happened with Marvel. People were grading everything Marvel. Yeah. Would be surprised if that's what happens with DC going forward.
I was going to ask, is there any property that you would think that would have the effect that would make it blow up? Is there anything other than is there a Batman product that could do that or not?
The only thing in our era, I think, is the Master Series. Okay. Master Series, yes, not Masterpieces. Master Series is the only thing. There's some really cool cryptozoic stuff out there, but that Mike, you were looking at boxes for one of your pack stack sales. That's expensive, and
Very expensive.
I don't know where the value comes out of that. Like the
Yeah.
base sets aren't really worth anything. The sketches, which are the big draw in most non-sports stuff, they seem like a big draw, but the value isn't always there to make up for the cost of the box. So it's like, I don't know. Like if it was me, I would just pick up a couple of boxes of DC Master Series. If I was looking to, potentially, hopefully get a Marvel Universe type situation.
Okay.
Well, I got my set for $10 at a yard sale. So.
Yeah, you're already in the win. Yeah,
I've actually considered sending the Batman in just to. It'll be a 1. If they do, they have lower than a 1. I don't know if they have
authentic, right?
Authentic, yeah. I think authentic would be.
I was thinking just to do that, just to like have it preserved as real, but I don't know if I'll bother.
When you bought that, how was it stored? Was it like in a baggie, or was it in a rubber band, or was it in like a snap
No,
top?
it's just in like a 100 count plastic case, I think.
Okay. So it wasn't a case.
That's old school. That's
yeah.
That's what we did in the 90s, man. We built a set and put it in one of those slider cases.
Yeah, not those. All right. Well, we talked about all the stuff going on with PSA. So thankfully, we have other options out there. And I want to applaud CGC because they're the number 2 grader. And oh, wait, maybe I don't want to applaud them. Maybe I want to flip them off.
There you go.
Because in their infinite wisdom, starting January, they're going to raise their prices at a time when they're the solid number 2. The number 1 has some stuff going on around it. But so, hey, let's raise the prices. Their prices are going up from $1 to $25 a card. It's not really how much. It's just, they're clearly taking advantage of the fact that they are really the only other option outside of PSA right now. They're very popular with Pokemon creators, people that don't want to wait forever, like with PSA. They're owned by an investment company. So yeah, they're doing this to make money because they can. They don't care about being number 1. They love being number 2. They love making money. They want to make more of it. They don't give a crap about collectors. That's my take. I could be wrong.
So I generally agree with what you're saying, but like EP did on the Filthbombs thing, I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. I will say, I think the timing of this was horrendous. Like, let PSA wallow in their shit for a couple of weeks and get beat up by the influencers and content creators and people on Twitter. Let them get the crap beat out of them for a couple of weeks before you do this. I'm wondering, and the reason is likely what you're saying, Mike, just trying to make a buck, because again, they're a business, and what do I can't say it about PSA if I'm not saying it about any other business. Is there the potential that they're seeing an influx that they need to kind of turn the gauge a little bit, and they're like, we're going to get swamped. We need to turn that dial a little bit, kind of like PSA did, kind of like all the companies did, with that COVID boom and stuff like that. They needed to turn the nozzle a little bit. I'm hoping that that's the case, but man, if it is, pick another week to say it. Let PSA just shit themselves for a couple of weeks. Let Mega God stumble on answers on why they're regrading shit. Like, that's the way to do it. I mean, I don't agree with the timing. Even if my theory is correct, I don't agree with the timing of it at all.
Yeah, I think I'm guessing these companies probably pay attention to what's going on in the space. Like they know what's going on in PSA. They're seeing this. They're probably having a chuckle right at what's going on. Why not call up the team and say, hey, listen, instead of raising the price, let's hold that off for a few months. Why don't we do a 3-month special, $20 a car or something like that? Whatever the equivalent would be. I'm not sure what their prices are for bulk or any of that sort of stuff, but let's do a deal for 3 months and see if we can boost our base. And I mean, I think that would be a much smarter move in this case. But I don't run a company like that. What do I know? But I mean, that would be run a special instead of raising the price.
They're clearly making enough money being number 2, and they're happy to be number 2. So,
I guess.
And because when you're number 2, guess what you can do? You can take pot shots at number 1. When you're number 1,
they don't do anything. But they don't. That.
Like the only company that did recently was BGS, and they are far from number 2. So, yeah, I don't know.
All right. Well, I have a little game here for you guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll
love
give
these.
everybody a game since things were so negative today. Let's have a little fun here.
So you
'cause
want
I
it to
love-
continue to be negative for me, is what I'm hearing.
You got this, Joe.
Okay.
Bronco
What I have here are the top 5 eBay searches by sport. So I have baseball, basketball, football, and hockey.
Oh.
And I have the top 5 searches for each. So let's start with baseball. Who wants to start?
Me, because I don't know baseball.
Okay, sounds good. Who do you think is on the top 5 searched baseball cards?
So do you want the card or the player?
Just the player. Just the player.
Just the player? Okay. I'm going to go Ken Griffey Jr.
Ken Griffey Jr. is number 2. Yes.
Okay. I know who number one is. Yeah.
Ohtani is clearly number 1. Yes. Yeah. Okay, now's where it gets interesting.
I'm going to go with EP's boy, Aaron Judge.
No.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan?
No.
Okay.
Paul Skeens?
Paul Skeens is number 4.
Am I currently beating EP in baseball?
You are up 2-1 right now.
Yes.
Mickey Mantle?
Mickey Mantle is number 3. All right.
It's
2-2.
This is the problem. I don't know any current baseball players other than Ohtani. So
could be a problem. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm guessing. Can I just say a current baseball player?
No.
You can. I'm not going to give you credit for it. But.
All right, then I pass. EP, say a current player.
Ronald Acuna Jr.?
No.
Give him one more guess and we'll move on, and it'll be a tie if he gets it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah, if your opponent passes and you get 2 wrong in a row, then we go to the next category.
Yeah. Yep.
I like
that was in the rules. I saw that.
Yeah, it was in the fine print
to make this segment go a lot quicker.
I'm surprised Nolan Ryan wasn't on the list. I'm going to say Willie. It's probably a current player, but Willie Mays.
No, Ellie De La Cruz.
Okay, De La Cruz.
Makes sense.
I actually know him.
Yes,
I've heard of him.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll let EP go first with the basketball.
Okay. Wembanyama, Victor Wembanyama.
He is number 2.
Is it all basketball?
No.
Okay,
I
just
did
NBA.
not. There was a separate category for women's basketball, but I didn't push my luck.
Oh, no.
This is NBA, yes.
Jordan.
He is number 1. You guys should know that. He's been number 1 on every list we've done since we started doing these. EP.
Anthony Edwards.
He is not.
Interesting.
Surprisingly.
The one who SGA.
Yes. He is number 5. Good, Joe.
Yeah.
I won't ask you what his name actually is, but
Shane
SGA
Gillis.
You're so close.
Abercrombie.
Yep.
Shane Gillis Abercrombie, I think.
You got it. Yes.
God,
Perfect.
I'm so good at making up names.
You are.
All right.
LeBron James.
LeBron is number 4. Yes. You guys are doing well.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Yes. Look at that clean sweep. Joe is up 5-4 and gets to go first.
I thought this was a skins game. I thought we tied on the first skin and I got the second skin.
Doesn't work that way. No. Football, Joe.
Football. I'm going to go Drake May.
Drake May.
Maybe Drake May. May may be on the list?
Drake May. Drake May's nickname's Drake May. So he's Drake May.
Is it really his nickname?
Yeah, don't you know that?
No.
But yes, he is number 5 on the list.
Well, actually, to be fair, my nickname is Joe Day. Like everyone calls me by my full
Joe,
name. So
Joe Day.
Day. Yeah, okay.
So it's the
what
same
number
thing.
was he? I'm sorry.
He's number 5. He was
5,
number
okay.
Mahomes.
No.
Mahomes
confidently, no.
Really?
Yeah, very confident.
He's not in the top 5.
Wow.
He may be on the list, but not from 1 to 5.
Interesting.
I'm going to go Caleb Williams.
He is number 3.
I know how this game
Joe.
is played with football.
Wow.
Pulling away 7-4.
Herbert, Justin Herbert.
No.
You're a couple
Jeez.
years too late for that.
Yeah.
Let's go with Josh Allen.
No.
Mm.
No.
Okay.
EP. Lots of dead air here.
Lamar Jackson's been too bad.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys don't get one here. We're moving on.
Jackson Dart.
No, you.
Suck it, EP.
No.
Ah! Damn it.
For 2025, he only had cards for a certain amount of time. That was the Caitlin Clark problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
EP.
It's not Cam Ward, is it?
Same thing as
No.
Jackson Dart.
So,
Okay.
wow, guys. Number 1 was Jaden Daniels. Number 2 was JJ McCarthy. And number 3 was
Michael
Bo Nix.
Penix. Oh, Bo Nix. Bo Nix. That's the
All 5 of the quarterbacks that were drafted.
Yeah.
You guys only got 2 of them.
My next one would have been Penix anyway. All right.
Okay, so moving on. Joe is ahead 7-4. EP, you got to kick ass on the hockey here.
And I've got no shot because Joe Day is actually an NHL player. He has his own card.
I have my card here somewhere.
All right, hockey. EP, your choice.
Connor Bedard.
Connor Bedard is number 2 on the list.
I'm going to go with the great one.
He's number 1. Isn't that crazy? Jordan
That
was
is
1.
kinda crazy.
Griffey was 2. And Griffey's only 2 because of Ohtani. Let's be real.
Yeah.
Gretzky's number 1. Crazy. All right, EP.
Evgeny Malkin.
No.
How about the other Penguin, Sid the Kid?
He is number 3. Joe Day knows his hockey.
I do. Hockey town here in Pittsburgh, baby.
There are
Alex
2 left.
Ovechkin.
No. His
Really?
searches did go up a lot around when he broke the record, but he
Wow.
is not in the top 5 for the year.
Huh.
Good guess.
Are there 2 Penguins on the list? Let's go with Mario. Super
Mario is number 5. Wow,
I knew
Joe
I
is
I'm gonna
dominating.
make such a lewd comment, EP. I'm going to keep it to myself, though. I almost made it. I almost made the comment.
I mean, Patrick Waugh.
Yes, very
There you
good.
go, buddy. There you go.
So there we go. Joe wins 10-6.
Yeah.
It's
That was
weird
an
that
embarrassing display.
football is all ultra modern. NHL is mostly like older players, and
Yeah.
then basketball is a mix, and baseball is a mix. I guess baseball is
Little-
mostly all new.
Little surprising Connor McDavid wasn't
Yeah.
on the hockey list.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he's the best player in the NHL.
Yeah.
And Ant-Man's got some of the most hype in the NBA, but I mean that's crazy.
But Shane Gillis Abercrombie has him beat.
Shane Gillis, yeah.
Man.
Oh, well, hopefully that, made everybody
Lighten the
happy.
mood. That made me happy.
Yeah.
Made
Beating
me
EP
happy.
always makes me happy.
It's always fun watching EP squirm, and
Yeah.
he didn't come up with any bad guesses, like really bad ones. So
He didn't have any clarifying questions either, I don't think.
I know. What are you
Dang it.
feeling?
Congratulations.
Okay?
That is my role. Son of a
You
gun.
should get the. Can I ask if the? Yeah,
Yeah,
Caitlin Clark.
yeah. That's why I did ask a clarifying question. I did ask the one. Is
That's
it
why I
yes?
went Wembanyama first, and I was like, I'll leave Caitlin Clark for Joe in case there's an option.
I really thought you would come out of the gate with Caitlin Clark without asking the clarifying question and just go like full bore with it, but no.
Just like Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that he's not on there.
It's
Yeah,
because you're playing against him this week that you're saying so many glowing things about him, isn't it? In our matchup this week, that we might know who won. I don't know if we have any Monday Night Football players tonight.
These two have a very important fantasy football playoff game against
They
each
do.
other. So make sure to tune in next week to find out who won the game, because
Yeah,
I have a feeling there might be some discussion about that.
Possibly,
maybe
just a
it's
touch.
possible. It's possible.
All right, guys, that was a pretty good chat this week. I will see you next week. Take care, guys.
See you, Fred.
Adios.